Hello everyone and welcome back to the EGF. We are getting ready for our second match of the day between Mississippi State and Siena. This is bound to be a good one.
Yeah, Mississippi State and Siena just some pretty heavy hitters that we have going up against one another. We're going to be opening off, going right into it actually, with Canoe going up against Ginja. So that's going to be Jigglypuff Yoshi. Oh! Excellent music choice. Let him go. Lovely. Amazing. I can't wait for Canoe to do up throw and rest and kill at 30. It's gonna be great. Excellent.
Channeling his inner melee might be Canoe as Jigglypuff for Mississippi State, and I believe that's Ginja on the Yoshi. This is a kind of an awkward matchup, I'd say. Both very kind of floaty characters. Love to use a lot of their jumps in neutral, I feel like.
We're going to be heading up the rest onto the platform. This could be so big. Missing the up air into the rest. Unfortunately, Canoe was not able to actually follow the drift. And right now, able to get that dash back and still connect the grab. Canoe's looking kind of slick with it.
Yeah, right now Canoe's doing a good job of reading the movements from this Yoshi, and nearly 50% already racked up, but I feel like this is going to be kind of the problem. How do you close out these stocks as Puff, as I feel like you're kind of searching for those stray strong hits here or there.
Absolutely.
This might be the time for Ginja to rack up some percent and make back this deficit.
Honestly, this might be the most difficult part of the matchup. It's exactly what you just mentioned. Jigglypuff is a character who relies on getting edge guards. Yoshi is a character who cheats. He plugs in his Game Shark to get back onto the stage, right? He sees the hitbox, he says, I'm not worried about that, not in the slightest. But, you know, it's just going to take like those raw hits. Really good positioning just to be able to connect that back in. But yeah, it's going to be a struggle for sure.
Ooh, I like the pound there, trying to catch, I believe that's Ginja out on that jump, but just a little bit of percent eaten up for it. And the chase down, not going to be able to follow it up with anything. I'm kind of resetting the scenario here as at 153, it doesn't feel like Puff should be able to live to that percent, but Canoe doing a fantastic job of just surviving.
Yeah, you know, he saw that he hit Ginja's shield and was like, I'm just gonna back off. But at that point, yeah, you can't really be respecting pound on shield. That move does a lot of shield damage, so you can't you can't let it hit your shield like 3 times, I believe. But as soon as you do hit somebody, you're just stuck in that animation for so long. That time Ginja tries to go for the pop-up, hit him down tilt, but a little bit difficult to do on somebody as light and as floaty as Puff. She's just able to drift out.
Good up tilt, gonna be able to convert some percentage here, make back up that deficit. But Canoe still with the slight edge and catching the jump, I believe, as well. They're not able to follow it up with the dash attack, but the pressure still on as Ginja being able to get back to stage. That side B not gonna be able to follow up with anything, and we're back into that point of the game, I feel like, where it's another finding a strong hit.
So
great
good.
Turnaround.
That was beautiful because Ginja tried to cross up Canoe, like thinking, okay, if I get past the first back here, I don't have to be worried about being walled out. Oh boy, this could just goes right through the F smash. But you always have to remember, there's some back airs in this game that turn you around, and Jigglypuff has one of them. Back air turns her around, she can immediately back air the opposite direction. So it's actually favorable to be facing the same exact side as you did before.
I also want to commend Canoe. He's going to lose his stock here on that down smash, I believe it was. But I want to commend Canoe because after that shield break, I think he recognized that if he went for a rest setup, it probably wouldn't have killed at what, 0, I think, Ginja was at. So instead he just decides to take the damage and try and find a follow-up later, because he was at 89. If he lands the rest and it doesn't kill, he's probably going to lose his stock. So he takes the gambit and says, maybe I can survive if I don't just go for the rest here.
For sure. I mean, the most that Jigglypuff could usually get is like, you know, some of those like fancy little down air loops. Jigglypuff can't kind of do that, but against somebody with Yoshi's double jump, unless you're like frame perfect on that, he can get away as soon as he feels like doing so. Right now, just gonna be rolling back onto the stage. This is still anybody's game in order to be able to take it. I like that patience from Canoe, but no punish.
Good grab to send Ginja off stage. Dash attack gonna kind of reset the scenario on the opposite side, and the fade back, and you can kind of tell Canoe hunting for that back air. It's been able to close out the first 2 stocks for him, and both players playing very patient right now. There is the back air. That's gonna do it too. Canoe takes game 1.
Yep, Canoe's spacing and timing with the back air is the times that he was like picking his, when he was like really choosing to fire that bullet. Was so smart, just waiting for Ginja to always double jump in, or perhaps to drift in, was just waiting for him to be at the right space. Look at that wait. Excellent. He was so confident that Ginja was going to try to double jump in, and he killed him for it.
And I mean, despite how well it felt Canoe was playing, at the end of the day, they were both sitting at roughly kill percent on their final stocks, and I feel like that's just the type of character Puff kind of is. You can play very well, but at the end of the day, you're a very light character that can die very easily, and Ginja did a good job of keeping it close.
Absolutely. Ginja, I mean, this is still definitely totally doable for them. I would just like to see them play a little bit more out of shield, but just be cognizant of, what pressure on my shield is safe and what isn't. Yoshi definitely has the ability just to try to punish almost all of Jigglypuff's buttons on shield with neutral. You can really chase her with it. His airspeed is a little bit too good for what it is.
Here's another look at that back air, as you said, the great weight, and you can even see Yoshi trying to throw out that second down air, possibly to try and catch Canoe, but unable to connect. The great spacing there from Canoe on that back air, and all 3 stocks taken by that back air, and I feel like that's just, probably arguably Jigglypuff's kind of best tool, right? Because outside of back, a straight hit of strong
big
back
and
air,
strong and safe. I mean, what are you gonna do? Grounded F smash is a character who relies on being on the air most of the time. It's or edge guards. But Ginja actually gonna be switching to Bowser. How do I feel about this? Jigglypuff can do Jigglypuff things to Bowser. The thing is with Jigglypuff Yoshi, neither of them kind of did things to one another, but Jigglypuff can definitely execute a game plan here.
Yeah, this feels very, the Bowser pick feels very, the rich kind of get richer, because if Canoe can do, the Jigglypuff combos like you're seeing right now, Bowser's gonna, not be able to play the game for a little bit, but as soon as they fall out of that percent and can't, maybe find a strong hit of somewhere, speaking of that.
He techs in, doesn't fall asleep, dashes out, tries to tech back in, tries to get back in, and then falls asleep. That interaction, just need a little bit of tomato sauce, my friend, a little bit of pomodoro, maybe some cacio e pepe, because I was spaghetti.
Yeah, that was, we were talking about the matchup, and then that interaction kind of happens, and you kind of shake your head.
It was like Ginja saw that he didn't fall asleep the first time, and was like, nah, I gotta double dip, my friend. I gotta, Canoe deserves this one.
The follow-up too on the edge guard there to take that second stock. Canoe feels ready for this Bowser mix-up, and you can kind of tell Ginja does not have much of an answer for it. That's the rest on top of it.
And the frame perfect LOA's. Wait, oh no, that's just like the end of the game. But what happened?
I'm in shock.
He quit. He unplugged the switch. I have never seen such a frame perfect switch where the game doesn't automatically disconnect both players, and yet you are still able to get the victory screen. That's a new one for me. That's like impeccable timing. Frame perfect tech, everybody. Look at that, right here. As soon as the game stopped moving.
That was a clean 2-stock from Canoe. There's no other way to put it. That Bowser pick just did not work in his favor. Canoe was all over that matchup, and even though
a frame perfect quit, man. That was. I hope you understand how tight that window is. Whether the game still registers it as a victory, right? And somebody disconnects. It's just like blowing my mind right now.
That was a commanding game. Canoe. Ginja could not do anything through most of that matchup. He's able to find a stock, but at the end of the day, that was, the momentum snowballs in this league. We talked about it earlier. To get off to a hot start, it is hard to come back. In Mississippi State, that was a commanding game 2, and that will win them set number 1 to make the score 5-0.